You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
You don't know about the other side of the pyramid? The fifth side? It's called the floor, you dumbass. I just want to make sure he realizes there is a fifth side to the pyramid.
And once you open your fucking mind of undefeated goddamn fairness.
I know all of them, and I believe none of them, which makes me an expert. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Cryptic Conspiracy Cult episode. This is your host, Chris Morrison, and today I am joined with my friend, Alex Stiff.
Hello, hello.
We have been busy working to get all our podcasts in a row, trying to get as much info out as much, but we did have a good Christmas, so we did take a nice little break on that, nice little holiday.
Yes. Finally back out in 2023, getting all the network stuff squared away. Chris and I having brainstorm sessions of, okay, let's do all this. We maximize things, so it's going to be a fun year.
Maximize productivity. Synergy.
Synergy.
What is synergy? It's when you yell at the lesser.
Is that the conspiracy today?
Yeah. No, today we're going to be changing it up a little bit to add into our little mini series about aliens, the greatest conspiracy, or cryptid. You never know.
I lean more toward, I don't know, are they their own thing?
Yes, they are their own thing. But in West Virginia, one of their cryptids is actually an alien. The Flatwoods Monster is considered a cryptid. Okay. But it is an alien.
All right, interesting.
But no, we will be talking about not just aliens, but the history of aliens in film and how they're kind of represented.
Very broadly.
Yes.
Very fucking broad, because that was one of the things I was looking up real quick right before we started, because that's kind of like the joke on Couch Potatoes is like, you know, even though that's like a show about movies and TV and comic books, I watch a lot more TV and read more comic books than watched movies. I'm not that much of a movie buff, whereas Chris, that's his bread and butter.
My back literally hurts from carrying the show.
Not anymore, goddammit. That's part of the reason. That's one of the reasons I've been like, okay, we need to strategize. Yes. I got more of this. Let's do this. But no, when I was looking it up, I just pulled up a Wikipedia page of like every extraterrestrial film or like a movie that had one in it. And there's a bunch of egregious shit, like Spider-Man movies that had Venom in it was because Venom is an alien symbiote. Yeah. So it's like there was a lot of egregious answers, but I was kind of weeding through the bullshit. And yeah, there's not a very distinct paint by numbers, not even paint by numbers, but there's not even distinct attributes between alien to alien to alien.
Yes. So like kind of go into it. So aliens in film actually go back all the way to the turn of the century, the 1900s. And stories of, in the film industry, when it first really started coming out, one of the first movies ever made was From the Earth to the Moon, which is a Jules Verne story about us going to space. And there is a vague alien-like, dark, shadowy creature that you don't really see. It's mainly played on fear. And we've talked about this in length on the Couch Potatoes and also in our other Alien Part 1 episode. Check that out. What does the alien look like? So going back to like the late 40s into the 50s during the Eisenhower administration, you have Roswell, which happens, and you have your Greys, your standard X-Files looking alien, or what I call the South Park alien, which is always in the background.
And see, well, the thing is when I think about aliens, that's one of the first things I think of is the traditional Grey.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Hollow eyes, big head, small body, maybe 3 or 4 fingers.
Yeah.
You don't really see their feet. They don't. They never wear clothes. They're just genderless. Yeah, they're nudist, genderless fucking stickmen. And I kind of think that is just the blasé throwaway that we get, and then it just gets worse from that on, and it kind of plays on the fears that we see in film. Going into that, though, you actually have a poster of one of the greatest alien movies of all time, The Age of Invasion from Mars.
Yes.
And it is the giant-headed aliens that are green, sharp teeth, pupils with eyes, you know, and it is kind of visceral to look at because they are carrying a bitch, too. But, like, it wants to, it's the scare factor. It's like, how scary can we make them? And God knows they are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Going into it.
And it looked like they were kind of the basis for the the aliens or Martians from Mars Attacks.
Yes, the big brain, and it's just like, let's kill doves and soldiers and shit, and Jack Black. And you play it on to that, you have those early 30s and 40s, all the way up to the 50s and early 60s, with the colorized storylines. The greatest story of aliens is the War of the Worlds, and how it kind of just spread terror across the land, just as a radio show. But when we first see them in film, you don't really see the aliens. You just see the ships that walk across the ground. We actually don't see those aliens until that Tom Cruise movie came out, and one of this like pops out of a fucking ship and is like.
You also have Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes, and with those, it kind of they were kind of hamstrung on what they were doing with the aliens, because the aliens had to be defeated. The aliens had to be evil, the whole fucking time. And what I like about it is, you had all these guys who are coming in directing these campy horror films, because that's what they are. Alien movies are horror films. And just trying their best to be like, what's the scariest fucking thing that could fall out of the sky? And a lot of them play on actually Central American and South American totems.
Okay.
So to get away from the ancient alien assholes, what they do is, the characterizations old civilizations use of headdresses and stuff like that were like, all right, let's make that the alien. That's what if their head was actually the headdress itself? Right. So we get that with like the Egyptian bullshit and the Central American and Aztecs, Mayans and stuff. And so it kind of carries over in film a little bit. So you get these aliens with these large heads or anthropomorphic bodies, look like caricatures of what a human should look like. Right. And it plays so well in the whole vastness of space that you could do whatever you want with it. Like, if you were to make an alien movie and I was to make an alien movie, our aliens would look totally fucking different. Absolutely. Yeah. So, like, mine would be generally dangerous. Like, mine would have the acid blood. Mine would have probably 6 fucking arms and crawl on the walls.
Closer to what you see in Alien.
Yeah, Alien. So that's my jam, because the alien isn't smart. It didn't create its own thing. It's just been hitchhiking across the universe, slaughtering people. That's my favorite alien.
A cockroach.
Yeah, the cockroach alien. As opposed to, like, your villain aliens, like your Brainiacs and, like, DC and stuff like that, who are fucking smart, who want to kill you for a reason. In literature, though, when it comes to aliens, there is a planned act. So going into before the days of George Lucas, where aliens is a federation of planets, there's an empire upon an empire of all these different aliens getting along with these white people in space, which they shouldn't, because British Nazis are the empire. But what he got inspiration from was stuff like Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon and stuff like that from the 30s radio plays and comics and stuff like that, where you saw an alien or in a play or whatever, and it had to be a guy in a suit. Right. And we need to simplify that as much as possible. A good one is Bosk from fucking Star Wars is actually just a runoff character from Star Trek, who's actually just a runoff character from Buck Rogers. So it's like, hey, who's that? That's a guy with a lizard head. That's an alien. Nah, that's just a lizard. No, it's an alien, goddammit.
Because I said so.
Since I said so. You kind of play on the whole fantasy aspect of what your kids want to see and stuff like that. I was like, oh shit, do you see Captain Kirk fight that alien? He fucking whooped his ass. He beat him with a rock. It's fucking brutal as shit. As opposed to like Star Wars, when you see some of the aliens, some are terrifying, especially the one we saw in, I believe, Mandalorian season 1, the one with the horns by Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
A devil alien that literally looks terrifying.
It does, which was a callback to one of the devil aliens we see in A New Hope, even.
Yeah, and that going into A New Hope, we see more variety of aliens in that movie alone, probably in the whole series, because they're all in a bar. Yeah. It's just like, hey, what's that? That's a furry guy. What's that? Oh, that's like a quartet that just jams out every night here.
They're like a bunch of dicks.
Yeah. Oh, shit, he got stabbed. Fuck, man, we got to get out of here. I would love them to play just another fucking song.
Play the same song. All right, same song. Here we go.
And I remember, like, you remember that one alien who had the... It looked like just a giant like rubber thing. It had two eyes at the top. It looked like a tongue almost going like this, but it had two eyes at the very top.
Yeah.
Weirdest fucking looking alien of all time. And like I like how everybody just understood each other.
Yeah.
Every time, like Han Solo just knew what this giant dog was saying the whole time.
Sup, Chewie?
Yeah, right. Really, taxes? Is this what we're talking about this now? You fucking prick. And like no point did Luke been like,
Would a Wookiee be an alien?
yeah, he's another alien. He's from another planet.
Yeah,
they're all from other planets. Han Solo.
So let's. That's kind of where I wanted to lead with. That is, what defines an alien?
Anything that isn't human.
So is an insect an alien?
Yes. If it comes from space, yes.
Okay, so now there's another quantifier. It has to come from space.
Yes. Not like a alien person.
What if it was something that was living underground?
That kind of goes into the conspiracy in another way. Did aliens come before man?
Right.
So going into that version of aliens, which this is a part of the History Channel I really fucking hate, is aliens were here, built the fucking pyramids, went underground or went back to space or just died out, and humans haven't done shit for like 6,000 years. And then the year 2000 came and we're finally getting our shit together, and it's just like, that is total fucking bullshit.
I recommend anyone check out this YouTuber named Billiam.
Oh god,
and he goes hardcore in the paint with these old Discovery Channel and History Channel documentaries.
And like talking about those old Discovery Channel ones, you know, the mermaids, the dragons and stuff. I know when you watch them from a far third person view, you understand what they're trying to say. They're like, if they were real, this is what would happen. But that's not how it's sold.
No.
Instead of suing yesterday for fucking false advertising, I would sue Discovery Channel for yelling fire in the theater for saying mermaids were real and dragons were real and shit. So like false advertising, false products.
Well, see, and people can discredit, all those, ancient alien type shows, all that stuff, and be like, oh, well, clearly it was done with satire. No, my grandmother was one of those type people that was like, oh, it's the History Channel. This is education, and saw it as such, and saw the information that they were providing on there an extension of education. So she was any of that kind of stuff that came on. I remember her kind of taking it.
Yeah. Well, here's a great question for this, not just this episode, but for the thing. Do you believe intelligent aliens exist? And if so, did they visit Earth at any time? I know it's a hard question.
It is. Mainly because
you don't want to sound like you eat saltines in the tub.
It's difficult only because I would like to believe that we are not the only things here. Is that just a symptom of the human condition wanting something larger out there? Or have we seen small instances like what you're saying, have they already visited at some point? No. If I want to look at it for, like, if someone has a gun to my head and is just like, you have to give me an answer, what is your honest to God truth belief? Yeah. I don't think there would be aliens. Okay. But I am not closed off to the point of being shown and proven wrong that there were. And if there eventually was proven to be some, I wouldn't be sitting here going, well, damn, maybe, well, fuck.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it, but all right, word. It's maybe that 5% faith, but but in no way would I say I'm a hardcore believer that there are aliens.
Well, there's kind of a simple saying when it comes to the idea of aliens. One is, are we alone in the universe is terrifying. Mm-hmm. We are not alone in the universe is equally fucking terrifying, because Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I take with a grain of salt on a lot of stuff, said if intelligent life was to make contact with us, it would be like Columbus coming to the Americas.
Right.
It would be bad.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it's portrayed in movies, which I love. It's just like, hey, look, we made contact with aliens. Why the fuck did you do that, you dumb bitch? Like,
not all of them are E.T.
No. E.T., probably fucking evil, because his whole planet just showed the fuck up, and he just communicated with a record player and an umbrella and like a fucking speaking spell. He took simple shit and made an interstellar communication, and they're just like, why did he get dropped off? Is he like the dumb one?
Maybe.
Another thing that ET can do, he could suck the life out of you. Literally suck the life out of a child. Yeah, he's friendly as shit. Everyone cries with the alien. No, the government was chopping his ass up for a reason, because he's killing that kid. And fuck George Lucas and all them for trying to give Steven Spielberg for giving them fucking walkie-talkies and not shotguns when they redid the edits. Bullshit. Those motherfuckers would have shot them kids immediately, because that thing would have sucked the life out of all them kids.
But he got a flying bicycle, Chris. Everything's okay.
That was radiation. That poor little boy died of leukemia later.
But that even being a representation of, literally an extraterrestrial in a film. And even that one was pretty unique.
Yeah, it's friendly. It's extremely friendly. It's like a Buena's dog almost.
Yeah.
And you feel it. Steven Spielberg is really good at that, kind of flipping a genre on its head a little bit, kind of like, hey, let me make a Christmas movie, let me make it horrifying, like Gremlins. But like, or let's do a fun day at the beach with a shark. So he's really good at doing that one thing. And with E.T. being so sympathetic, I think it kind of lulls people into kind of a safety thing about, yes, if aliens did exist, we could reach across the aisle and be friends with them, as opposed to James Cameron, where it's going to fuck your face and blow out of your goddamn chest. Yeah. How do we kill it? Flamethrowers in space. Hey,
but there's no oxygen in space.
No, but there's oxygen in the capsule, and we could all die. Oh, good thing they invented the such and such device and not kill us all. I was just recently watching a YouTuber who reviews movies, and this poor girl is just crying and shaking watching Aliens, and she is just like, I don't know why I'm crying, and she's like trying to like almost throwing up because of the chest and you hear the bones crunch. It's like, God damn.
Well, what's your thoughts on aliens then?
I believe aliens exist. I don't believe they've visited Earth.
Okay. I'm
a kind of firm believer on that, and I'm also a hater when it comes to those people who think aliens have assisted us too. I think people were smart enough long ago to build a civilization, lose it, and then we got to here. So I kind of believe in that whole theory. Now the other part of the whole.
Well, do you think that any of the found footage or captured footage is real? Because I know so much of it can be proven wrong, but there's a few of them that are like, you genuinely can't explain this.
I believe because it's so underwhelming a little bit that it's not real. You have the Navajo lights, you have the fireballs in the sky over the Ural Mountains in Russia. You have all these things. They could just be the military doing some really weird shit. I have more confidence in the military just trying weird weapons out in public than I do of an alien civilization.
That's what I've always
you want to park
thought.
here, bro? Like,
and see, and that's always what I've thought when I see any of the supposed UFO sightings, which technically they're all UFO because it is an unidentified flying object. But whether it be extraterrestrial UFO, I say no. So maybe in that regard, yes, a lot of UFO footage is real, but it's exactly what you said. I've always erred on the side of it's weird military flying machines. Like, I mean, you see how fast and accurately drones can move and stop on a dime these days. Okay, if we can on a semi-consumer level get this stuff, you're meaning to tell me the government hasn't had that technology for at least 30 fucking years?
And that goes into another conspiracy we'll talk down the road on another episode called DARPA, which is the Department of Advanced Weaponry. One of those DARPA inventions was what Kanye West said George Bush caused Katrina with, a machine that causes hurricanes.
Oh, yes, the weather machine.
Yes, because George Bush hates black people. Right. I believe that was his exact words.
Well, I think now Kanye
it's opposite.
West hates black people.
And on a broader note, we know George Bush loves black women. So I think
he and Michelle are best friends.
I think it's fucking wrong, dude. Like, Kanye was wrong. I
think Kanye's been wrong for quite a few years.
And it's a sad day in the news when I wake up every morning and he's still alive.
That's dark.
That's dark. But with the aliens, another part of the whole conspiracy of aliens is that's what we get our technology from. You can't have the iPhone, the iPad, the Samsung phone none of this without the aliens helping piggyback it off this, which I think is bullshit. I think, hard work and science kind of got us here, not some extraterrestrial who was, piggybacking like, what would be cool if you could see your buddy from here to Denmark.
Here's an iPhone.
Like, that's just how it happens. Steve Jobs is like just banging his head against the desk. I don't know what to make. I can't figure it out.
I hadn't taken a shower in a month.
I can't figure it out. Dude, Bill's got this thing called a Zune. That thing looks awesome. How do I... Fuck.
We're really fucked with the timeline if the Zune came out first.
The Zune is superior.
We fucked with the timeline. We fucked with it too hard.
Why is the Zune superior? Because I put it in a sock and hit you with it, and it hurts.
Someone sneezed in Steve Jobs' face.
Yeah. Oh God.
Someone messed up the timeline just from that.
But going back to the aliens in film, early on, we have your Buck Rogers, your early Disney stuff, when some of their movies at the time when George Lucas was doing his thing in the 70s, you do have some of these offshoots of aliens, and it all kind of generates from the Roswell situation, which was the discovery of a alien craft may have killed 2 aliens because of a farmer who may have shot them in the head immediately.
The amount of air quotes you're throwing is smacking me in the face.
The amount of reaching I'm going to do, I could climb Mount Everest. So it goes back to the other conspiracies we've talked about Paul McCartney. It's just like, I'm drawing all the lines and dots and shit. What does it make? Roswell, motherfucker. A giant word, Roswell.
Well, the problem with the Paul McCartney one is they started with 3 dots and then created a shit ton of their own dots to connect.
It's kind of like that draw by numbers dots. It's just like, what did you draw? Oh, I drew a cat. What'd you do? The Mona Lisa. Oh God. But going into some of the movies, like just that we would know of, other than E.T. in the 80s, would be Star Wars. Would be one of the earliest movies we probably would have grown up with aliens.
See, and that's where I was kind of maybe at the beginning of the episode going to be like, where do we draw the line at aliens in film? Because yes, there are films like Star Wars that took the idea of different, alien creatures and kind of creating what you said, their own ecosystem, their own, planetary system of different species. Yeah. But then there's also movies that aliens are the hook of. First thing immediately coming to mind being E.T. and Aliens. Yeah. So when we talk about aliens in film, are we wanting to talk about basically any sort of non-human creatures that shows up in a film, or something that's specifically geared toward a movie discussing aliens?
Movie discussing aliens.
Yeah.
So
I would say Star Wars, as much, I'm a Star Wars fan, I would say Star Wars is hardly an alien film. Yeah. It's almost the aliens are there just to push the story along, not the story.
Well, the thing about Star Wars and Star Trek, they're all analogies of different races of people. You have these aliens in their planet as opposed to these people in their country. Representation of aliens in those movies are probably, I see that as more of how far can I go in special effects to produce a character that's very unique and a very unique story. So you get these aliens in Star Trek, like the Klingons. They're people, they just look different. The Vulcans, they're people with pointy ears. So they're playing on limitations as opposed to Star Wars, which has a whole fucking production company. I can make a fucking Bigfoot alien, or I can make a flying slave trader. Watto. Yeah. Or a kind of a really weird characterization of Jar Jar Binks, which actually it sounds like some Sambo fucking bullshit. It does. Yeah. But going into singular aliens, where First Contact, where you have someone like Jodie Foster and Charlie Sheen who meet an alien for the first time and they just take off their human skin disguise, and it's that is where you kind of skip from friendly analogy to horror film. So you could argue E.T. would be an allegory for horror film. or a horror story, but we would decide to befriend the monster instead of murder the goddamn monster.
Which is also what I feel like, since you have that belief that there is some sort of extraterrestrial life, that's how it would go down.
Yeah.
You don't feel like it would go down in a friendly way.
No, I do not feel like. I feel like the things that the American military has invented isn't to fight people. All right, we've invented things that have no reason to fight people. The F-22 Raptor, which is a plane, has no godly purpose to fight people.
What do you mean?
It's too fast. It's armed too fast. It could literally put a nuke up your ass in like 2 seconds if the president wanted it to, and there's no reason to do that. There's no hold on. So we fight proxy war. This is a little different. We fight proxy wars. We don't do war wars anymore. So why do you need a tactical nuclear option if you're just going to send guys in to kill X amount of people in a terrorist group? There's no reason to use these weapons on a broad spectrum of people because they haven't caught up. We've learned this in like the invasion of Ukraine, Russia. We grew up years hearing about, oh, Russia's going to do this, Russia's going to do that, and then they show up with a fucking car from 1992 with a cannon on it, and it's just like they've lied this whole fucking time. So, like, why do we need these weapons if not to fight someone who's going to be far superior above the human race? So that's how I kind of feel that the government is preparing itself. Not just the government, the world is preparing itself just in case one of these motherfuckers step out of line and be like, hey, I got a fucking call from space, and it's like, what did it say? Well, I don't know. Okay, we'll wait and see, I guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that Mars attacks. It's like in Mars attacks where Jack Nicholson's just like, kill them all, and it's just like, yo, no, we're going to try to talk to them. No, kill them all, and it's just like, yeah, you really want that guy in real life. We need to kill them all. And another thing about aliens is, I've always noticed is, as much difference there is between the human race, you know, not just skin color, but features, height, weight, physical ability, and all this, and mental capacity. You never see that in aliens. They're all the same. They're uniform, the same. The only versions of this I can think of different are the Twi'leks.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that be part of the allure of the aliens, though? Is that they're such
unified?
They're such an advanced species. There is no greater or lesser than. Everyone is equal.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about I'm talking about just different look, like a variation. Because like Avatar, which just came out, all those Na'vi aliens are tall. They have the same markings. They look like an Indian tribe. They have the same kind of braid. They have the same build, as opposed to Star Wars, where you have green Twi'leks, blue Twi'leks, red ones. You know, you have these different versions, and that's fine. But it's not represented into like the other canon of aliens.
Right.
So like all the Bosk aliens look like lizard people. All the Chewbacca's, all the Wookiees kind of look the same.
The Chewbacca people.
All the Wookiees. All the Wookiees look the same.
All the Chewbaccas look the same.
Yeah, which is probably like a racist statement. It just like racist as fuck. That one has a beard.
That one has titties.
Yeah, that one has titties, like the original Bigfoot. But like, you know, we've talked about it before, especially in our Bigfoot episode. Like, for older cultures, aliens is a real thing. They believe, you know, some Midwestern, far Western natives believed that Bigfoot was dropped off. They saw it. They said they saw it dropped off and like got left behind. And when you think about that, are all cryptids just left behind aliens? Which would be terrifying.
All by myself.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! Just Bigfoot just yelling at Mothman. Will you stop fucking crying? I get it. You're a Mothman. I get it.
I'm a Mothman.
But you can't.
I have feelings too.
You can't be running toward fires all the time, man. You can't be doing. They'll kill you.
You will get burned.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Stop crying. Just a whole, just Ron Funches, and probably like Bill Hader just being a Mothman and a Bigfoot just talking cash shit to each other would be the best show on Netflix. So when we're talking about like the other aliens, let's talk about the horror aliens. Okay. You know, you're the thing.
Yeah.
The aliens. Those are meant to instill fear about the human body. So another part of that is the thing. It says like, no, it takes you over and then looks like you. It kills you and then becomes you. That's the terrifying thing about aliens, about the unknown. It's like, it kind of gets that imposter syndrome a little bit. Like, I'm not really who I say I am, but this thing is going to kill me and become me.
Yeah.
It is visceral and terrifying, as opposed to the xenomorph, which is all about representation of sex. It's like, no, this thing will kill you, impregnate you, and that alien will be a version of you running around, but more animalistic. And that is kind of a cool story, is when you see these aliens coming from space and stuff like that, the animalistic ones who you're like, well, how did they build a ship to begin with? It's like, no, motherfucker, they hijacked a fucking ship from some other dumb species who decided to fuck with it. And that is the more terrifying part of Alien, of just aliens in broad, is like, well, what happens if an alien craft comes this way and it's stockpiled with some shit some other alien species fucked with, and they just threw it our way, but like, Kobe, trash can. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of plays onto a newer movie that actually came out with actual Ryan Reynolds and a couple other casts, where they find an alien species on Mars. They put it on the ship, but it grows rapidly and starts killing them one by one. It is
What was it called?
I believe it's called fuck. I would have to look it up. But anyway, that's kind of how it ends. It's like its goal is to get to somewhere where it could be big, you know, and it's found these people who've brought it onto the ship. First of all, bad idea.
You never knew that.
Yeah. So anything that's a living shouldn't come in contact with human beings at all. I would tell the people that are drilling in Antarctica right now and finding microorganisms under the ice, stop fucking doing that.
Yeah.
They were good there by themselves this whole time.
They don't need to be released out here.
They don't. Maybe just stop fucking with shit would be my fucking priority. Stop touching stuff.
We're talking about aliens that just kind of got Kobe'd to Earth. One of those, and I think a genre that we hadn't really mentioned yet on the show yet, that being animation and cartoons, Roger from American Dad.
Yeah, so Roger...
He was kind of like a discarded alien to a point.
And he looks like the OG alien, the gray. And it's the whole study is just like, oh, Stan felt bad that he was going to get killed, and so he brought him home. Now he's a slapstick character who lives in the attic, and he's the most annoying character on Earth.
Yes.
Like, he's the most annoying motherfucker on Earth. And it kind of bothers you a little bit. I fucking hate Roger. Like when I watch that show, because he has these such good lines, and then he just ruins everything. The Ricky Spanish part of American Dad is fucking hilarious. The Ricky Spanish. Whenever he does bad shit. And going into like cartoons and stuff, some of the ones, I don't know if you've watched them growing up. You remember when they started making these really bad movies like Mars Need Moms and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah, so the aliens there are doing similar things to the aliens in Xenomorph. They just need someone to help take care of all these babies.
Yeah.
Not in a let me impregnate you and let it burst out.
Mars needs women.
Yeah. Which probably was a 50s movie. It
was.
Yeah. Mars needs bitches.
Well, I was going to say, the main reason I know that is because there was a Rob Zombie album that had that as a song title, and I looked it up, and yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah. Well, Rob Zombie is a fucking 70s and 60s addict, just like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. Horrible fucking song, though.
Oh, yeah. Not
Mars needs women. Angry red women.
Yeah. It's right up here with Super Beasto.
But the other alien that immediately comes to mind when I think of animation, a little bit also off the beaten path, but I think kind of ushered in a new era of kids kind of talking about aliens and extraterrestrial life, Invader Zim.
Yeah, so a cool thing about Invader Zim is he's so annoying, he's sent here to Earth to conquer it. And they know he can't do it. And the funny thing about the hierarchy of that, well, I always thought was funny, he's like, oh, why are those two guys in charge? Oh, they're just tall. The two guys that run that whole alien species are just two tall guys.
Yeah.
And they're both from Whitest Kids You Know. And fucking Kids in the Hall. They're both those two voice actors. And I'm just like, that's why they're in charge. They're just too fucking tall. And it kind of brings down the semblance. It's just oh, aliens are stupid too. Yeah, aliens are fucking dumb.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah, but like, like in the pantheon of aliens, we're going to come across like a million years in the future, if man is still alive, we're going across space, we're going to meet like trailer trash aliens.
What would that even look like? Because here's the thing, because
it would be terrifying, because all aliens would look terrifying.
Well, because our cultural understanding of like trailer trash is, poverty and stuff like that. Well, how, what is the visualization of poverty? Used, discarded items, repurposed into new items, a lot of kind of self-taught recycling and getting by. What would that look like on an alien form, though? So it's like we have a certain image of what it is for us. What would poverty look like for aliens?
It wouldn't be much so much poverty as it would be an embracing of ignorance.
Well, what would their ignorance be?
Oh man, y'all are lying. There ain't no other species out here. It's just us two. It's just us two, and I'm pretty sure y'all just dressed up like y'all came from the other side of the planet and just come and fuck with me.
You came from
yeah. Well, it's kind of like it's the opposite story of some alien abductions, actually. So some people who talk about alien abductions.
You believe Terry actually went to Earth?
No, man. He hung out with some Mexicans and got took. That's what happened. They took his truck.
Wait, there's Mexicans in space now?
No, I'm just talking about that's what happened to some of these people who think they got fucking abducted. They didn't get abducted by aliens. They got abducted by illegal aliens.
Well, I was gonna say the other way around, like the aliens talking about is like, you think Paul really went to Earth?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He followed his dream. I hope so. Or he could have just burnt up in the atmosphere. I don't fucking know. Just speckles of dust. That's like Paul.
Stardust.
Yeah, and that actually going into like the story of space travel with aliens and stuff like that. A lot of people before NASA had like before World War II, people believed that you couldn't even escape the atmosphere. A lot of scientists thought that the atmosphere would have been too thick to cause just an explosion if you ever tried to leave Earth. That was an old idea of thinking. So if you think about that and what we think now about space travel, we could just be wrong just as bad as that guy. And our idea of aliens could be vastly fucking wrong, because we believe that the human body is perfect for us. Like, it's two legs, 2 feet. We're balanced. We're not like ancestors who
utilitarian.
We're very perfect, but on another planet, something else might be perfect, and we could.
Well, I mean, an extra set of arms wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, no, fuck no. Why not? Why not? Johnny Three Dicks over here lives on Saturn.
Popular man in town.
Yeah, popular man in town. Meanwhile, he's just so tired all the time.
Hey, Paul, why are you tired? You wouldn't understand.
I've been begging for a third arm this whole fucking week.
They gave me the wrong third arm.
Yeah. But when we're talking about expansion of the human body, we've actually created prosthetics, that replace them, but we've also created prosthetics that enhance people who don't need them.
Yeah, they do.
So one of the examples that isn't about sex is they invented a sixth finger apparatus that you can wear on your hand, and it's basically a thumb on the other side of your hand, and it's fully functional and it works. Nice. And it creates better grip.
I'm sure it
does. Yeah. You can grab a titty better. But as something that's designed for someone who needs a handicap fixed, this is also a prosthetic that can help. So a version of this are the as in like an exoskeleton for people who do shipping, who wear like exo legs, arms and stuff like that. We see that in Aliens, where she's using a giant powerlifting suit to beat the fuck out of this alien. And you're thinking, why didn't we just build a suit to fight aliens? No, we did, but we used it to lift boxes. Like kind of the simpleton
version. Well, at least
version.
Warehouse workers are going to be well equipped.
Yeah, and when the aliens come, and all I can think of an Archer is when Barry is in space and he's got the fucking forklift in. Hey, I got one of these. Come on, fight me, you son of a bitch. And it's just like, Archer's like, I want to get on a fucking spaceship and kill this motherfucker.
Well, would reptilians really be wrapped in with aliens?
So we'll probably discuss that a little bit more when we talk about the Anunnaki, which are an alien race that predate the humans, and then it gets into like the Atlantis and the subterranean cultures, also the snake people, the reptilians, which I love the reptilian theory, that they're just bipedal people that just wear human skin.
Right.
And I love the fake ass videos of just like some bitch on fucking news just blinking, and it's like, look, her eyes changed. It's like, no, That's just the camera effects. Like,
because another example of like an alien type figure I could think of was a Skrull, but then they could also shapeshift to look like humans, which then kind of set me on that path of, okay, maybe something more broad would be like reptilian. So that's just what made me think about it.
So like in comics actually just before the old school era of the stupid rules of comics where good guys had to win, the cops can't fail.
Comics Code of Authority.
Shit. It was bullshit. It's worse than, it's just as bad as the MPAA now, which is another trash fucking censorship. But Marvel and DC doing their aliens is another thing. Marvel went kind of like the horror aspect of it with the Skrull and stuff like that because we have to fight them. Mm-hmm. We use the best and brightest and we fight them.
The Chitauri. Yeah,
same thing. They have 6 fingers on their hands, which is fucking hilarious because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with their hands? I thought like
they have those little prosthetic things you're just talking about.
and they have 2 sets of eyes and their jaws go all the way back. But in DC, the most famous alien in DC is Clark. Is Superman.
Oh, I was going to go Brainiac.
It's Superman. He's an alien.
Yeah.
But his physiology changes from when he leaves his planet and gets sent here. Granted, it's an allegory from Moses. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. A superpowered man. He's still a man.
He's but a man.
When we get actual aliens, though, from further back, we get aliens like Darkseid, who is this giant burning man who looks like he's made of rock or steel. But the other aliens, we get the Green Lantern storyline, where it's all aliens from across the world, a unified force of all aliens. Even one's a squirrel, one's a cat, one's a fucking cat. It was just vicious as shit. But like we see all these representations of aliens, and I think what holds it back is they always look more humanoid. At the end of the day, I think that's just because of limitations. Mm-hmm. Like even the xenomorph has 2 legs and 2 arms.
Yeah,
but when you start watching like the more advanced cuts, it's like that tail now has a razor blade at the end of it.
Yeah.
It's got the mouth with a little mouth. Little mouth. Hi, I'm a little mouth. I want to eat you with my little mouth. But then you got one like the Thing, which has no form, which is like a mimic, a ditto if it was a Pokemon. It just kills you and becomes you, which would be a great horror Pokemon film. It's just Ash coming home and his mom turns around. It's just those 2 little dot eyes. Hi. And he just throws a Pokeball at her and catches her.
But that's like the equivalent of like shooting her.
Yeah.
Like they play it like he just shot his mom, but he just threw a Pokeball at her.
Kind of like in Terminator 2. Is Wolfie okay? Wolfie's fine, sweetie. And he just hangs up the phone. Your fucking parents are dead. And we got like other forms of aliens. We also have invasion of the body snatchers, which are podlings, which just interact with people and then they mimic and then kill the host.
Spore-like movies that do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like a plant. Just this one. Slither, one of the weirdest fucking movies I've ever watched, does the same thing. It's an alien from space that creates an amorphous blob at the end. The blob is from space. Fucking Steve McQueen has to kill this goddamn thing, and he has no idea how to do it, even though it moves at 1 meter an hour.
Yeah, and it's just it looks like just Kirby. It got inflated too hard, got translucent, and like just went.
And that was the thing about the blob that was scary is everything it touches made it bigger.
Yes,
it just kept getting bigger and bigger.
See, I remember the blob. I remember watching that one when I was younger and just being like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, he's coming through the vents and shit. And there's those guys accidentally invented that goo shit kids play with because
it's just slime.
All it is just like baking soda and fucking like
cornstarch
and a bunch of other stupid shit mixed with dye. And it's just like ooh goo. Kids nowadays show no terror at the blob. No, they're made
the blob is their friend.
Yeah, they're made of sterner stuff than we are.
we were scared of cornstarch slipping across the floor.
Meanwhile, we got the magic sand we could pour in.
Yeah, we were cool with the magic sand, but the slime moving across the floor, that was too much. That was the sticky mess.
Flubber is the E.T. of the slime world.
God damn it.
Oh, I remember Flubber. I remember I hated that movie so fucking much. So stupid.
Not necessarily an alien, though.
Yeah, it was a chemical attack.
Yes. Same thing with like Dune. I wouldn't call the really big sandworms aliens much.
No, so like in Dune, you're dealing with a whole... There's actually 2 aliens in all of Dune. 2 alien cultures, but you will not see them probably for another 40 years when it gets into these movies. But in the books, they don't show up till like the 3rd book.
Right.
We know they exist. Even in Dune, everyone's still just people. The Atreides people, the Harkonnens, the Sodakar, they're all just fucking people. We don't actually see aliens until later on when it's like we need to turn the fucking engine on, and it's like, what's in the engine? An alien.
If you want just more exciting, just watch Tremors.
Yeah, just watch Tremors. One of the greatest fucking movies ever made. And like you could argue, is Tremors an alien? No, it's a fucking old animal that's been woken up.
But this is an old animal in space.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. And I do like when we talk about aliens in film. We can take the broader approach of, they're friendly, they're dangerous, or we could work it out. The Klingons are a perfect example. In the beginning, the story of Star Trek, when Gene Roddenberry wrote them, Klingons are the warrior people that want to kill every fucking human and every Vulcan wrong. By the time Next Generation comes out, dude, his third in command, his weapons officer, is a goddamn Klingon. It's like they've worked that shit out. And now, in the story of Star Trek, it's everyone working together, as just like Star Wars. You have a pantheon of Parliament that's run by this shriveled white guy who uses lightning fingers. Yeah, which everyone's cool about. Which which is kind of the limitations of theater and everything. But like, there are a lot of humans in the Star Wars universe as opposed to the aliens we see.
Oh, yeah.
We hear about alien species. We hear about whole worlds of them, and then we start blowing them up.
We've seen a lot more of them in the Disney Star Wars.
Yes, the Disney Star Wars does have a high representation. Tatooine has a shit ton. It's just like this vagabond aliens. It's like, how'd you get here? I lost a bet. This is what happened.
Yeah.
This guy
fucked me, right?
Yeah, I put all my money on this race, and this fucking hooded Jedi guy fucked me.
I put all my money into Troop Coin.
Yeah, I put all my money into Troop Coin. I put it all in that bounty coin.
Boba Coin, not that good. Not that good.
I don't know what happened. Probably the economy crashed when Jabba the Hutt died. One alien dies on this planet, all the money's worthless.
Fuck me.
Fuck me. Now there's a fucking gang war.
You got a lightsaber I can borrow?
Just one, man. Just one. I'm just trying to build this moped.
I need a crystal.
Just one crystal. Just methed out aliens, just drug addicts, and that kind of got to go.
Crushing up kyber crystals, sniffing.
Well, in Star Wars you have spice.
Yeah.
In Dune you have the spice.
Spice.
Spice. Spice melange. And
in South Park you have spice melange.
Or cat piss. That was the other one. Cat piss was the other one.
Now I thought that was the Tom Brady poop. Was the spice melange.
So they make fun of it twice. The drug was the spice melange.
Yes.
Which they're making fun of Dune. Because that's what they call it. And I'm just trying to imagine Trey Parker, Matt Stone, just keeping a straight face, trying to say spice melange the whole fucking time.
And yeah, even talking about aliens and film and stuff, South Park. That was one of their ongoing ones. I mean, the very first episode, Cartman gets an anal probe.
Yeah. And
the anal probe is
huge.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, sticking shit up people's asses
is a clearly alien trait, right?
But it's also a 50s thing. Like, it's a huge 50s like trope about aliens abducting people. One of the scariest movies I ever saw growing up was a movie called Fire in the Sky. And it's about a man being abducted by aliens. And they show what they're doing to him. They're putting him in this fucking, like, elastic material. The special effects are all out. The grays are almost like a tannish color. They're in his face. They're putting shit in his eye. They put, like, a needle in his eye. They put these giant things inside his tips of his fingers to make him do all this stupid shit, like, all this fucked up alien shit. And it's one of the scariest movies you could watch about aliens, because the aliens are here to abduct people.
Right.
And this is his story. And it's based on a true story of a man who said he was abducted by aliens. And his friends almost got hemmed up because they couldn't find him. And so the town believed his friends killed him. Check out this movie. If no one's seen this movie, please check this out. Robert Patrick from
What's it called again?
Fire in the Sky. My grandpa, who raised me to watch alien movies, showed me this. And I was just done. I was like, fuck no. Like, I was not age appropriate to watch that movie.
How old?
I was probably about 6.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to watch Fire in the Sky, it is one of the most disturbing movies of its time. But it is based on a true story from this man's account. And he describes visually what they look like, what they did to him, the inside of the ship, how he got abducted, and they show it all in the movie. And, you know, on a comic aspect, it's not funny. But the other ones are. The other stories are. It's just like, oh, fucking Tommy Lee down here got fucking abducted by his shucking corn, and he said they did stuff to his asshole. And it's just like, shut the fuck
Why
up.
the asshole, though? Why the anal probe?
I'm just pretty sure they were just into some weird shit, and that was how they like coped with it. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's just like that deep down, like they wanted to try some gay shit, and that's what they did. And they're just like, did y'all do some gay shit in the woods?
just be honest. You did some gay shit in the woods.
Yeah. No, man, it was aliens.
You did some gay shit in the woods.
No, fuck no.
Where was Jim Bob?
In the woods. And he just looks away. Yeah. Just the interview, he just looks away. He's like, no, it was gay. We said slap back, no take back.
It ain't gay if you say it was gray.
It ain't gay if you beat him up afterward.
But no, so I just thought that was always
You
funny.
can take that out of context, out of the way you want.
I just always thought that was weird. Is it was always the anal probe. And also, if aliens are supposed to be such this advanced species, why is it in all these movies and film and stuff they want to study the human?
So that was another part of the whole idea of how dangerous the aliens are. Is it easier for them to abduct us, study us, to figure out how to kill us? Is it easier to, like, so when we find,
hey, aliens, we're really easy to kill. This thing that's bobbing on the top of our body is really fragile if you hit it with a bat. You can kill us pretty fast and easy.
Yeah, so when we talk, when the whole part of that part of the story of aliens is them just learning about us, just the same way we learned about other species. We kill the species, kill one of them, cut them open. Hey, where's his lungs? Where's his kidneys? Where's kind of the same thing, but aliens are more of catch and release, and it's fucking disgusting. Like, it's just weird as shit.
So they're mainly just fishermen.
Yeah, fishermen, and it kind of makes it kind of funny because, you know, there's going to be that one Quint alien, and he's going to get a fucking human on board who's just going to rip his shit apart. Like, just some big old dude is going to get abducted, and he starts kicking the shit out of these.
You caught the wrong motherfucker today.
Yeah, your Arnold Schwarzenegger type get abducted by the predators, and
I was thinking like some Texas type.
Oh yeah, some big fucking heavyweight motherfucker who just starts beating the shit out of him.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I'll snap you like a twig, boy.
And so another part of the theory of aliens is they're not aliens at all. They're us from the future coming back to see us. Now, hear me out on this. So the structure. So hear me out on this. So the theory.
Any conspiracy or story you have to start where you say, "Hear me out on this."
Hear me out on this. Now, I don't believe this, but this is how the story goes. In the beginning, Jesus made. No, so when we look on an anthropological study, you know, when we look at early humans, they are shorter. They're not as muscular. They have different digestive, not systems, but different
tolerances.
Needs. Yeah, so they can eat raw meat a little bit better than we could. You know, their bone structures is not as dense. We, who have grown up in a highly nutritious, you know, diet, we can get vitamins and minerals we need to survive. So over time, mainly Americans, which is kind of odd, are bigger, not just in weight, but in height. So if me and you were to go back in time to, let's say, the time of Jesus, everyone would be about 5 foot tall.
Right.
We, being 6 foot or over, would be seen as something, you know, pointed out.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like if we were to go to Korea or something.
Yeah.
Hey, look, two white guys. But
tall.
No. Okay, so that's how that would... No me gusta. So that's how that goes. But some anthropologists, scientists believe that humans, as we go on in time, will continue to change. You know, one is our eyes would mainly get bigger. Our structure would change a little bit based on diet and exercise and stuff like that, or just use, because we don't need certain things. Like, we don't need a super strong back because I'm not trying to build a goddamn house.
Yeah.
No, I built a machine to build the house. You know what I'm saying? So, evolutionary standards in millennia would change the human form, and that's another part of aliens. This is the horror aspect of, let's say humans go to this planet. Well, their lungs have adapted over the years to be smaller to take in a certain type of air, or their eyes have gotten bigger to contrast the light in the sky. You know, their hands have gotten a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything conditional creates evolution.
Right.
We know this as theory. The same reason, like, elephants look the way they do, fish look the way they do. Other than squids, everything's fine. Squids, I'm pretty sure, aren't from Earth.
Are they alien?
So here's the theory about that. Squids have no genetic majority likeness to any other species.
Okay.
We are closer to the crab than squids are to anything else on Earth.
Wow.
The octopi and squids have no familiar genetic code with any other species. So far. We keep digging, and we're going to find one, and it's going to be like some 20-foot tall goddamn fish.
That's unleashed Godzilla.
Yeah, they probably dropped the Titanic or some shit. So, you never know. That's the great thing about aliens when we're talking about them. You never fucking know. You could draw a cartoon, and guess what? The universe is so vast, there's something out there that looks like that. You know? If your nephew was to draw something with a pen, just go,
yep.
Hey, what's that? Oh, that's a real alien.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. It looks like a Tangler Pokemon, but yeah. But yeah, it's a fucking alien.
Where's my Pokeball, goddamn?
There's a Pokeball. And like, I think there is kind of a lulling in society. The main conspiracy theory of all alien movies and TV is to lull us into a kind of a base understanding that if aliens were to show up, we wouldn't massively freak the fuck out. A good example is in the movie Paul, where he talks about how they've been slowly drip feeding the human race into what aliens might look like. And it's always these cartoons and all this stupid shit. And he's just like, oh, when an alien finally shows up, everybody would be cool.
Yeah.
They wouldn't.
No.
Not at all.
We as a collective society would just lose our minds.
Mainly most religious people would just fucking lose it because you just slap them in the face of another species.
Well, no, they would say it's of the devil.
Yeah, probably.
They would just flip it around. It's of the devil.
Yeah, probably. Or they would try to do mission work there. Yeah, you go to Mars and try to tell about Christ, and they'll be like, "Oh, you mean this guy?" And it's their Christ, and it's just like, he's still here. It's like, yeesh. Awkward.
He said we were his first.
And like some of the other stories of like religion talking about aliens, when they talk about a fire from the sky, chariots of fire, and all this stuff, are they describing aliens? You know, or, and me and you have probably talked about this before, but when we go outside at night living in Charlotte, we don't really see the sky for what it is because of the light pollution. We can't see it. Like when we go to Brad's, sometimes if they turned off all their lights, we would see the big sky. If we go out to Montana, though, we would see all of it. And how visceral of an experience that would be for us to see, hey, we're seeing what looks like the Milky Way, you know, the Guardian Belt that goes around us and Mars and everything. You know, we're seeing everything. So imagine back then where it's just fucking pitch black and you're looking at the sky. So you're going to have some wild ideas like, hey, man, what you think is up there? It's like,
I saw some fire.
Yeah, I saw a fucking star fall from the sky, and you're just like, fuck, that'd be fucking terrifying. But it also goes into like an existential crisis. This is like, how big is my fucking problems right now, as opposed to the great story of the universe. It's like, no, if gods do exist, they don't care about your dildos, which is a great meme that's been going around lately. God doesn't care about all your dildos.
Well, has there been any like alien in film that we really haven't covered yet that I feel like the people in Discord and commenters will be like, motherfuckers, you didn't talk about this? Paul.
Well, not really, because when you were talking about science fiction, you do have 3 realms. You have your evil aliens, your good intention aliens, your ETs, your Pauls, and then you have your xenomorphs and your things. And then you have Star Wars and Star Trek, which is a unification of the future. You know, something we hope to be in the future. You know, if we see these aliens, are we going to be friends with them? And another great aspect of this, which was kind of done on a movie that kind of just didn't get no fucking money, was City of a Thousand Planets, which was a movie that came out about 4 or 5 years ago. And it opens up with Starman by David Bowie, and it's just a space station, and an alien ship arrives that needs help. And they meet the aliens, and as the song progresses, time progresses, and they meet more aliens and more aliens and more aliens until it becomes this giant station full of different aliens and cultures, and to where it has to move because it's fucking with gravity. So it's like, but like at City of a Thousand Planets, if you get a chance, check that out, because that is the ultimate form of seeing what other aliens, because you have bad aliens, you have good aliens, you have, you know, repercussions and stuff like that. Right. And it is vast in the story. It didn't make any money because it was a comic book movie that no one read.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I'd ever heard of it either.
Nah, Claire Devlin is in it, and some other motherfuckers are in it, but it's not that popular.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I'd say this is a pretty good episode of the Cryptic Conspiracy Code, unless there's anything else you need to school me on before class is over.
So, have you heard of the theory of why we'll never meet aliens? This is real quick. So
maybe.
So there's a theory that we will eventually hit the wall when it comes to progress. People who believe in the Anunnaki use this theory because of why we never see like materials left of Atlantis or these other advanced humans who lived along these aliens, is because they hit the Great Wall. Okay. The Great Wall is, at some point, we are going to be so advanced that we can't advance any further. We would hit by the time the iPhone 56X comes out, we cannot progress any further in the evolution of our species and technology. Okay. And we'll hit the wall, and there's nothing gets past the wall. And then once you hit that wall, you die. So civilizations who hit the wall just cease to be. And that's just a theory, and that's why, and that theory goes into why we've never seen other aliens, because they've hit a wall to where they can't reach out to us. Or the other second theory to that is, no matter, because we constantly send out transmissions to space, hey, we're here. We literally do that. Like, as a collective society, that's what happens. There's satellites in Chile that do all this shit, and we're constantly sending it out. Stephen Hawking, before he died, said, stop fucking doing that. Just fucking just don't, because you know, he thought like aliens were going to murder us all and fuck our faces. So that's what he thought. So
he watched too many movies.
Yeah, he watched too many movies. He had nothing to do. He was in a wheelchair. So it ain't like he's going out for a jog. So the beeline to that is, the messages we're sending out are going to civilizations who wouldn't understand what they're seeing. Right. Not like, you know, if I try to speak to you in French, we could have a conversation, but this is on a whole new level. This is, they cannot even perceive the radio waves we're sending. And that is more terrifying than anything. It's like, if we do see aliens, how could we, you know, speak to them if they don't understand us at all? Mm-hmm. You know, there is blatant understanding, but no understanding is terrifying. Yeah. And we've seen what bad communication does here, just by just getting people to fucking together for a barbecue. So like trying to establish communication.
Send a dry text and it can be read 50 different ways.
Yes, and that's why I hate texting. That's not tone. That's why I use memes.
Yes, I do too. Most of the time I reply in the group chat. That's why I use a GIF or a meme. That way I could like really express the way I'm feeling.
Yeah. Well, a great example of this, you sent me that thing about, you know, the TV going out. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I kind of noticed it. I was just like, "Wow, that kind of sounds like a dick."
See, and that's the thing too. It's like, I knew you weren't meaning it to be a dick, but I actually did read it as, yeah, kind of noticed.
Yeah, it was like I was just like, punctuation's fun, and the advancement of the English language is fun, but text does not convey tone. I don't give a fuck how many smiley faces you give.
No, so I knew you weren't like mad or nothing.
And that's another thing. And that's another thing. When you talk about communication, are they going to use?
Do they know what tone and inflection and everything that means?
You have to assume. And if they smile, does that mean they're happy? Because on the human body form, a smile is just reflexive to the brain. That means happy, because when we're children, we see people smile and they're in good spirits. So that's kind of a natural thing. If they smile, what does that mean? Are they hungry?
Are they about to kill?
Are they pissed? Did they realize that we smell bad or something? Do we smell delicious to these pieces of shit?
No, you really don't know. And I guess no matter how many movies and cartoons and shows we watch, we'll never get that answer until they actually show up.
Yeah.
Unless they're already here.
Yeah, but that's what I like about the xenomorph. It doesn't communicate. It just kills. It doesn't stick out a finger and be like, I can heal you.
I can stick this up your butt.
Yeah.
E.T. phone butt.
And if I think about the xenomorph is, if it like all the xenomorphs we see are xenomorphs that have birthed from humans. If it gets a hold of like a dog, it even changes its physiology from the dog, because that happens in Alien 3, which is kind of fucking scary. The dog xenomorph is fast as shit, as opposed to like the human xenomorph that just hops around and is still terrifying. I can't wait till they do another xenomorph movie, aliens movie, where you can see it in the daytime. Because that would be legitimately scary. The last one they did with James Franco and all them, they had one that was like on the side of a jet, and it's like, oh fuck, you see it in the daylight a little bit. That fucking thing is massive because it's always hidden in the shadows and shit. But it's like, nah, give me one in the broad daylight in a field or some shit. Then we're gonna kill this fucking thing. No hiding, you son of a bitch. But that'll be our episode for this. Like I said, this is going to be a multi-part series for the alien story. We are waiting for some special guests to come on, but we will come back with you for another cryptid conspiracy cult, however we see fit. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Alex, for joining us on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Check us out on our new the Couch Potato episodes coming out soon. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Thank you for listening.